Hello everyone, welcome back to Speed Force Media. My name is Elinor, and if you guys didn't know something about me, you guys probably know I love ships and all things ships, and I do love movies, especially horror movies. One of my favorite things is horror video games, specifically Five Nights at Freddy's. And if you didn't know, for years and years and years since the first game came out, pretty much 10 years ago now, which is crazy to think about, this movie for Five Nights at Freddy's has been in development hell. It's just been going through roadblocks, and now, after years of development, it finally seems that we're starting to move forward. There's been character models and stuff that pictures have been released of. We have some casting, like last month, Matthew Lillard and Josh Hutcherson were officially revealed for it, and now there's new rumors that we've got another character being added to the cast. So, Netflix's You, if you guys have ever seen that show, the actress Elizabeth Lale, I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong, but Elizabeth Lale, she's been cast, and the rumors are coming from leaker Daniel Richtman, and he claims that Lale will be playing the role of Vanessa. This is, take this with a grain of salt because we don't have any confirmation of this, but if you don't know who Vanessa is, she's the newest kind of addition to the security crew in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. She's a security guard at the location in Security Breach, and she is in the building overnight looking for the little boy named Gregory, who, teams up with Freddy, and they get down to business trying to find Vanny and defeat Vanny. And so, Vanessa is a very lovely blonde security guard who just kind of runs around, and she is just doing her job. She doesn't know that any of the animatronics are murderous in nature, and so I don't know how she's going to play into this if we are doing a first movie, like a Five Nights at Freddy's the first game type movie, because she wasn't a character in that, unless they just add her into the security guards, because there were rumored to be other security guards working at the location during the day. Josh Hutcherson has been cast as the first security guard in the first film, Mike Schmidt, so that's exciting to hear that we at least get the original first security guard. I don't know who Matthew Lillard is playing. My personal theory is that he might be playing Phone Guy. I've heard other things, but that's who I personally think he's playing as. Scott Cawthon has his final cut on the film, which that should bode well, because that is the creator, the founding father, if you will, of Five Nights at Freddy's, and I have pretty much loved most of the games. I'd say Security Breach has probably been the weakest one, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. And it's not due to story or the way the world looks because it's beautiful. It's mostly just because there's some glitches with the game that just make the game hard to play. It almost feels kind of unfinished, which is a tragedy because it is just a gorgeous game, and it's one of the first Five Nights at Freddy's that you can really run around in the world, other than, like Sister Location, you could move from room to room, but still kind of had that 2D, 3D feel to it. It was more crawling through vents and stuff like that. Whereas Five Nights at Freddy's 4, that one was really revolutionary for the time it came out, because you'd run to one door, run to another door, but you didn't really get to move around freely like you do in Security Breach. So that was a huge step in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. Being how important it is to us fans and the lore of it all and how deep the story goes, it's going to be really interesting to see how this movie turns out. And I think she's a perfect casting, honestly, for Vanessa. She looks the part, so I think she's going to be good for this franchise, and I'm just excited to see where they take it. I'm hoping that if we get one solid movie for Five Nights at Freddy's, maybe they'll branch off into movie franchises, and it will hopefully boost the budgets for the next games. That's my personal hope, because I do love those games. They do have a really deep meaning with me. They're like one of my first introductions to horror games and really how I got into them. And then I started getting into things, like Amnesia and Resident Evil. I was late to the party on both of those. And then I started getting into things like Phasmophobia and other scary games that were really horrifying. And so it's just awesome for me to see one of my favorite franchises finally get the movie it deserves. What do you guys think, though? Do you think Elizabeth Lare is the perfect casting for Vanessa like I do? Or is there somebody else that you'd rather fan cast? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much. If you want more movie content like what you're hearing right now, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, leave this video a like, give us a comment. We would love that. Thank you guys so much for your support. Have a wonderful day, and until next time.